Welcome to this edition of Northeast Diary. Here we bring you the latest developments from India's unexplored Northeast region. Friends, today we will talk about community fishing in Nagaland. This is an integral part of Naga culture. Not just in Nagaland, but fishing is popular in other parts of the Northeast. We will go over to Sikkim and learn about the recently organized Fish Mela. The world and our country are badly affected by the coronavirus pandemic. It has crippled normal life and living. The first few months of this year brought some respite, but March onwards, it became more aggressive and fatal, particularly in many major states of the country. The figures show that the second wave of the coronavirus is being heightened in the northeastern states as well, though at a lesser pace compared to that in other states. It is said that the characteristic of human life is to defeat the challenges coming its way. Not surprisingly, we see many people and states bringing out new ideas, new programs, and innovation to live with the COVID dynamics. Here is a report from our correspondent, Irene.
The state government has taken up development activities when there is even a little respite from the spread of the pandemic. Such was the Innovation Fair, locally called as POOM 2021, which was recently held at Aizawl for the first time in the state to promote ideas of innovation among the young minds. The first ever Innovation Fair, which was funded by the Central Ministry of Skill Development and Entrepreneurship, has evoked a huge response. Talking about the event, Chief Executive of the POOM 2021 Organizing Committee, Mr. Joseph Wallerschweier, said,
"Since COVID-19 pandemic, there has been no activities, and for the first time, Mizoram held an innovation fair at the sprawling lawns of ITI campus here in Aizawl. This fair has provided opportunities for the skilled youngsters of Mizoram to showcase their innovative skills, and we have 23 participants displaying their innovations, right from tank overflow controller to solar hybrid water distillation to bamboo craft. Many local useful handmade projects have been innovated apart from different mechanical innovation. This fair has been a very successful event and it will carry it out again in future."
Chief Organizer of the Innovation Fair, Mr. Joseph Wallerschweier, termed that the first ever Innovation Fair a successful event. He remarked that the fair provided an opportunity to the budding innovators to showcase their work. He also remarked that without this fair, these innovations and talents might have been hidden and lost. Of the innovative ideas that came up in the fair, some works are really unique. For instance, one of the students, Zochuan Moya, displayed his tank overflow controller. Albert Malsomkima demonstrated his device of smart home automation. Similarly, solar hybrid distillation made by Johnny Lasangzwala was really eye-catching. For Northeast Diary, this is Irene from Aizawl.
Sikkim organized the Fish Mela at Gangtok's iconic MG Marg last week. The first of its kind event aimed at showcasing the state's potential in fish production and highlighting entrepreneurship opportunities. A report.
Sikkim Chief Minister P.S. Tamang inaugurated the state's first fish mela in Gangtok, which aimed at encouraging the youth to take up fisheries for sustainable livelihood and at promoting fish farming. Sikkim government has been promoting fisheries, livestock farming and agriculture towards achieving Atmanirbhar Sikkim. Director at the Sikkim Directorate of Fisheries N. Jaswant speaks about the fish mela and fish production and marketing opportunities in Sikkim.
वो अभी पब्लिक के सामने उसको दिखा के एक बार इस पब्लिक को भी कन्विंस करा है कि सिक्किम में भी लोकल प्रोडक्शन होता है करके। एंड इसके साथ साथ में बहुत सारे सिक्किम में पोटेंशियल एंटरप्रेन्योर है जो माछा के फील्ड में वो जा सकता है, जाके अपने आप को जैसा कि प्रोसेसिंग हो सकता है, देन उसका वैल्यू एडिशन हो सकता है, या कैनिंग भी हो सकता है, या जितना भी जो स्मॉल जो फिंगरलिंग बोलते हैं वो सारा चीज भी यहाँ प्रोडक्शन करके इसको बाहर में भी दे सकता है। अभी ट्राउट का जितना भी यहाँ पर फिंगरलिंग जो हम लोग यहाँ पर जो टैंकी में डाल रहे हैं वो सारा मोस्ट ऑफ देम बाहर से आया हुआ है। जैसा डेनमार्क से आया हुआ है, हमने डेनमार्क से जेनेटिक इम्प्रूव वाला लिया था, देन उसके बाद में हमने JNK से लिया था, उत्तराखंड से भी खरीदा था और हिमाचल से खरीदा था। जैसा कि अरुणाचल जैसा हो गया, देन दूसरा नॉर्थ ईस्ट स्टेट हो गया एंड हिमालयन स्टेट, उसको हम यहाँ से प्रोडक्शन के हम क्यों नहीं बेच सकते करके। सो उस सबको प्रमोट करने के लिए हमें यहाँ पर सोचा कि एक पब्लिक प्लेस में इन सबको एक एग्जिबिट कराए और फिर उसके साथ साथ में इसको भी एक सेलिंग अपॉर्चुनिटी दे, सो दैट कि मार्केटिंग स्कोप है करके भी कन्विंस करवाने के लिए वो सब किया था।
Fish farmers from across Sikkim participated in the Fish Mela, where experts shared their knowledge, inputs, and technicalities on fish farming. Fipraj Subba, a progressive fish farmer from Namchebung, Pakyong, East Sikkim, who participated in the event, shares his experience.
मैं ग्रास काप और कॉमन काप का फार्मिंग करता हूँ। ये मैंने 1988 से शुरू किया है मैंने ये फार्मिंग, और आज तक तो अच्छा है, आराम का खेती है, ये देखने में भी अच्छा है, और ये हमारा मार्केटिंग के लिए सिक्किम गवर्नमेंट ने बहुत अच्छा किया है, जो बेचने के लिए जगह भी दिया है, लेकिन हम उतना तो नहीं ला सकते, ऐसा कभी नहीं हुआ था। ये पहली बार है हम सिक्किम में, इतना साल से हम फार्मिंग कर रहा है, लेकिन ये पहली बार है हमारा सिक्किम गवर्नमेंट ने ये यहाँ बुलाकर सम्मान दिया है, मार्केटिंग के लिए सिखाया है, बहुत अच्छा है हमारे लिए।
Among other incentives, the government has announced a separate budgetary provision in the next budget for fish farmers. With Saikat Sarkar, this is Shekhar Khawas for Northeast Diary from AIR News, Sikkim.
Even though Meghalaya is blessed with plentiful rainfall, countless numbers of gorgeous waterfalls, the water crisis is a common problem for residents of this state during the dry season. Faced with such hardships, villagers decided to take matter into their own hands and successfully addressed water shortage. Our Shillong correspondent has filed this report.
Pongkung village, located in the East Khasi Hills district of Meghalaya, is one among many villages where tourists flock to. Beneath the major tourist destination of Lumchimpir Peak lies check dams constructed by the villagers as a solution to their water problems. Headman of the village, B. Lingto, shared how and why the villagers took up the initiative of taking matters into their own hands to solve the water crisis.
In the first place, Pongkung village is deeply concerned about the preservation of water sources, and because of this understanding that we have started making this dam. The place will also attract tourists who are interested in nature.
Though the base project was sanctioned under the MGNREGA, the villagers have gone beyond initial plans and envisioned a project that would also act as an additional region for tourists to visit. Spending around 23 lakh rupees, the villagers have beautified the surroundings after mobilizing additional funds that amount to nearly 13 lakh rupees. Secretary of the Village Employment Council, Balang Kharbani, gave more details as to why taking matters into their own hands became important.
The Village Employment Committee of Pongkung Village is determined to complete this project to increase the tourism in this area. After completing this project, we will keep the boat so that the tourists will be able to relax themselves, and people will be appointed to take care of the tourists.
The works taken up by Pongkung village is proof that villagers have the ability to find solutions to the immediate problems they are faced with. This is Rusam for Northeast Diary from AIR News, Shillong.
It is well known that the Himalayan region is famous for mango, lychee, pineapple, guava and papaya, and some areas like Jammu and Kashmir and Himachal Pradesh are famous for growing apple, plum, peach, walnut and pear. Now a ray of hope is beaming that cultivation of the highly valued cash crops like apple, plum, peach and Himalayan berries is possible in the soil of the rest of the Himalayan belt also. Thanks to a bunch of initiatives and schemes of the central and state governments, the focus of agriculture in the region is slowly shifting from traditional crops to high-value cash crops farming such as fruits and vegetables. Here is a report from Tripura revealing a story of a farmer who started apple cultivation and found a road to success, and his hard work is displaying an example of Atmanirbhar Bharat's vision.
A 26-year-old Mithan Sarkar or Bamutia village near Agartala has fulfilled the dream of the people of Tripura by growing apples in the orchard of this non-traditional apple growing soil. The local people who have tasted apples from the orchard said that the taste is similar to that of the Himachal variety of apples. Talking to AIR News, Mithan said that
हिमाचल का जो ईयरली जो इनकम होता है एप्पल के ऊपर वो 4000 करोड़ का है। तो हमारा त्रिपुरा भी पहाड़ी स्टेट है, इसमें एप्पल हो सकता है, कोई दिक्कत नहीं। जैसे बामोटिया में हुआ है हर जगह पे हो सकता है, बेकार भी इससे सोल्यूशन हो सकता है। मेरी बागान में भी 2-4 लेबर काम कर रहा है, मैं और भी बड़ा करना चाह रहा हूँ। त्रिपुरा में मेरे ख्याल से रबार के बाद फ्यूचर दूसरे स्टेज पे होगा इकोनॉमी की तरह से। इसमें अभी 192 पेड़ लगाया था मैंने पहले, अभी 173 पेड़ है। सब में 80% में फ्लावरिंग हुआ था। फर्स्ट टाइम सबसे फ्रूट नहीं ले सकते, क्योंकि फर्स्ट टाइम फ्रूट लेंगे तो फ्रूट का घास वीक हो जाएगा, तो नेक्स्ट ईयर फ्रूट कम आएगा। तो इसलिए मैंने सब तोड़ दिया था। कुछ पेड़ में रखा था सैंपल के लिए, टेस्टिंग के लिए। तो उस जो पेड़ में था करीब 20 से 30 किलो होगा। फ्लावरिंग का टाइम है जनवरी टू फरवरी, मेच्योरिटी टाइम है जून जुलाई। तो हमारा इस वैरायटी में एक फायदेमंद है, क्योंकि हिमाचल कश्मीर से जब फ्रूट निकलता है तो वो लेट होता है, और हमारे यहाँ पे वेदर भी थोड़ा चेंज है उनसे, तो इसीलिए हमारे यहाँ उसको 1-1.5 महीने पहले निकलता है। तो इसीलिए हमको मार्केट करने से भी कोई दिक्कत नहीं होगा, प्लस मार्केट में रेट बहुत ज्यादा मिलेगा।
With the instance of the first apple grower, many unemployed youths have started contacting Mithan Sarkar, showing their interest to cultivate apples. Some of them also wondered about the marketing potentiality of apples, while Mithan argued that the Tripura apple will not face any marketing problem. He said that export markets with neighboring Bangladesh can also be tapped in the future. But he said cultivation and subsequently production are needed to go up to a large extent across the state. This is Rina Nomaitem for Northeast Diary from AIR News, Agartala.
The Sangha tribe in Arunachal Pradesh celebrated its main festival, Moh Mol, on 25th April this month. Moh Mol is basically an agricultural related festival of Sanghas, which signifies end of an agricultural activity or beginning of the crop season. A report.
Moh Mol festival of the Tangsa tribe in Arunachal Pradesh is one such festival. During the celebration, people chant mantras, offer sacrifices to deities for good harvest of their crops, prosperity of their livestock and wealth, and disease-free lives for their families and village community. Foods, drinks, folk songs and dances accompanied by rhythmic music of drum beats and gong reverberations are part of the colorful festival. As time of particular agricultural activity differ from village to village, time of their Moh Mol festival celebration also vary accordingly. It is observed generally between April and July, but different villages celebrate it as per their convenience. In present days, the festival has been officially celebrated on April 25 every year, since it was decided by the community for convenience and common platform for all. Moreover, as the Tangsas have no definite date to mark the new year, they consider the Moh Mol festival as to be the end and beginning of the calendar. The Moh Mol is also a forum for development of new friends and acquaintances for the Tangsa people. Many strangers come into contact on this day, and it may become a permanent relationship later on. Especially it is common among the young boys and girls who may not their relations to grow into a lifetime partner. But seeing the present situations of the second wave of COVID-19 pandemic, the Moh Mol celebration this year was just symbolic in nature in most of the Tangsa villages across the state. For Northeast Diary, this is Rakesh Tole, AIR News, Itanagar.
Following the call of the Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi for Atmanirbhar Bharat, the government of Manipur is putting all efforts for achieving the goal. Nowadays, many entrepreneurs of the state are involved in businesses to produce products made in Manipur. In today's Northeast Diary, we bring you a story of the special pottery craft claimed to be found in Ukhrul district of Manipur. A village named Longpai of Ukhrul district is well known for its black earthenware crafted by the Tangkhul tribes. Earlier, the villagers produced the pottery for the local consumption. Now, the wave of Atmanirbhar Bharat has also reached the villages, which have started promoting the items on a large scale. A report from our Imphal correspondent, J.J. Thokchom.
The Bahunia festival is the first community tree plantation festival held in Senapati district of Manipur, aiming to infuse the spirit of ecological stewardship amongst the villagers. Bahunia is a very significant fauna because of its flower, exhibits a loss of color and has medicinal properties. This tree is available in the subcontinent as well as in the Southeast Asian countries. It is a large genus of flowering plant and its many species are widely planted in the tropics as orchid trees, particularly in India, Sri Lanka, Vietnam and southeastern China. Bahunia variegata and Bahunia purpurea, the multicolored tree species commonly known as Bapa in Koide tribe vernaculars, has strong cultural ties with the tribal way of life and is glorified through folklore in Senapati district of Manipur. The Bahunia festival of this year was held at Koide village of Senapati on 26th of this month. It was organized under the initiative of Koide Union. Speaking to AIR News, Mr. N.G. Naurai, convener of organizing committee of Bahunia festival, said that the inner core of organizing festival is to bring light moments during the COVID-19 pandemic by conducting tree plantation for better ecology.
My name is Naurai. I was the convener for the first Bahunia Festival 2021. The basic motive of organizing the first Bahunia Festival was not for a pomp or a show. It was basically community-driven tree plantation festival. And the main reason why we chose Bahunia was it has a close cultural ties with the cultural heritage of many tribes in Senapati district. As per the folklore, it was told this Bahunia, due to its unique flowering habit, that is, it used to flower when other tree species starts their first new spring. Because of this unique behavior, as per the folklore, tree became the central point of jealousy by even other tree species, and this tree species was thrown away by the other tree species into the landscape where the slopes is very, very steep. If we look at the present context of its habitat, it usually used to thrive in region where the slopes are very, very steep. When the last year COVID-19, the KAISO executive, they took this initiative of going for a community tree plantation. When they tried to study which tree species they should adopt, we chose Bahunia because of its resilient nature.
The initiative of Koide Union has inspired the neighboring villages of Senapati district, and it also became a step to conserve forest and environment and inculcate the importance of trees in order to mitigate the climate change through the plantation program. This is J.J. Thokchom from Imphal for AIR News, Northeast Diary.
Today we bring to you an interview of Dr. M. Angamuthu, IAS, Chairman, Agricultural and Processed Food Exports Development Authority, by our Guwahati correspondent Manas Pratim Sarma.
This evening we are joined by the Chairman, Agricultural and Processed Food Exports Development Authority, APEDA, Dr. M. Angamuthu. Dr. Angamuthu, welcome to our show.
Good evening, Manas.
How is APEDA involved in promoting agricultural products of Northeast?
See, APEDA is basically Agricultural and Processed Food Product Export Development Authority under Ministry of Commerce and Industry, Government of India. It's a basically pan-Indian organization with a global reach. Basically, we are exporting, agriculture and allied product like livestock, animal product, dairy product, poultry product, processed food, honey, all those things, we are exporting to, outside country, and we are sourcing from all over the country. And Northeast is our prime destination because Northeast is considered as, all 8 states collectively considered as, agriculture paradise. We can say it's a mini India in itself. All 8 states grow, good number of, agriculture produce, especially fruits, vegetables, and animal and livestock product, especially, like pork and poultry product also. And we have a very good market from Northeast for, like organic product, especially, like you name, whether it is organic tea or organic ginger or organic turmeric or even organic red rice. Recently, we have sourced red rice from, Brahmaputra Valley in Assam, and we have shipped it to, USA. So it was a very positive input we got it for red rice, and we have shipped, like black rice from Manipur and pineapple, like Tripura pineapple is so good. We have shipped pineapple from Tripura, Meghalaya, and we are in the process of shipping, like a good amount of, exotic fruits from Nagaland, especially kiwi fruit, passion fruit, dragon fruit all. So Northeast is a very good market for us for sourcing all the produce, and moreover, Northeast positioning, it's close to Bhutan, it's close to Nepal, close to, Bangladesh, Myanmar, and the Asian countries. Our government of India is giving lot of trust to all the neighboring countries, basically South Asian countries as well as, entire Asian countries, because, our Act East policy and all to touch out, all the neighboring and, Asian countries like Thailand, Myanmar, and Malaysia, Indonesia, Singapore, etc. And moreover, Government of India introduced a scheme called Krishi Udan. It is primarily to help, like agriculture produce from northeastern states. We have activated, 3 number of airports, Guwahati, Dibrugarh, Fal, Agartala. 4 number of airports are activated to ship, like agriculture produce to Middle Eastern countries, especially, like Kuwait, UAE, Saudi Arabia and Iran, etc. and entire Asian countries and to European market also. And we are in the process of taking the produce from Northeast using, Krishi Rail also. Because this Krishi Rail scheme is Government of India initiative, and it is helping us to, reach out to farmers, especially from the source itself. Scheme has introduced a very unique model of, like declaring entire state as an organic state. Organic product of Northeast got a very good market. So this market we wanted to capture, especially in, foods, vegetables, and fresh spices basically. Black rice of Manipur is very unique. Its color, its taste, and its availability, which is available only in, like Manipur. Joga rice. Joga rice, it's like a scented, like a short grain aromatic rice from Assam, which is very unique. It's not available elsewhere in the country and elsewhere in the world also. So we wanted to popularize all the products from, Northeast in terms of its geographical indications also. And black rice already shipped outside the country, and pineapple and, Karbi-Angalang ginger, we are already doing it. And the same case with the Joga rice also. Northeast India promotes product promotion campaign in, Middle East, in Europe, especially in England and all. And we wanted to organize some more program to promote Northeast in Singapore, Malaysia, Indonesia, and Thailand also. And we wanted to bring buyers and sellers from outside the country to Northeast also. But in the days to come, we wanted to organize a physical mode of program where we will bring buyers and sellers from, outside the country to Northeast. They can come and visit and they can appreciate our produce. They can see, how we are growing, in what condition we are cultivating, everything they will see, and they can source it from, Northeast. So that, like ultimately, you see, India's export is growing. So compared to last year, APEDA touched, almost grown to the tune of around 30% of, business. So Northeast will be a very good destination to source the produce because we have wide range of produce. If we source it, ultimately the benefit will go to the northeastern farmers. Farmers will get a good benefit. Our Honorable Prime Minister is stating that doubling of farmers' income is one of the major goals of this government.
So how do you see the possibilities of attaining Atmanirbhar Bharat, which was again coined by our Prime Minister, through export of agri and allied products in northeastern states?
Lot of, passenger movement, tourist movement and all were happening. But nothing was focused for, like a promotion and export of, agriculture produce. But with the introduction of this Krishi Udan scheme, we can source produce from Northeast. We can use, like all the existing airport facilities for exporting the produce. This is the number one task. Number two task, introduction of schemes under, example, there is a scheme called, One District, One Product. It's called, ODOP. So the one district, one product, in the entire Northeast, there are 100 plus number of, districts are there. Each district has identified, each distinct product from the particular place. And converting this one district, one product into a domain of, agri-export, that is a very easy to source, See, for export, you need, a good amount of product range and availability. See, these all basically, Atmanirbhar initiatives only. Again, I told one more thing. It's called, Krishi Rail. The Krishi Rail is again, pan-India campaign, a pan-India infrastructure and logistic initiative. Basically, what happened? For transporting agriculture produce from the source to the shipping destination. See, the Krishi Rail, they have introduced a concept called, this reefer, rails. Basically, reefer vans and other things. Basically, it's air-conditioned wagons. So, this air-conditioned wagons will support for taking, all our produce from, northeast to all the shipping destinations. Ministry of Commerce from APEDA, we do give lot of emphasis for schemes related with, northeastern India, especially for setting up of pack houses, storage facilities, storage houses, and again, cold chambers. All those things, we can, help and assist. If anybody, interested in setting up such type of, facilities and infrastructure, APEDA will assist. There are schemes from Department of Agriculture, there are schemes under Department of Animal Husbandry and Veterinary, and there are schemes under, Ministry of Food Processing Industries also. So all those schemes can be dovetailed under Atmanirbhar initiative, and ultimately it will, one way or other way, it will reach out to, farmers.
Has the COVID-19 situation affected agricultural export of the country?
Government is taking all the initiative to handle the situation. But if you happen to see last year, rather agriculture sector did very well. There was a, increase in value and volume to the tune of around 30% compared to last financial year. Basically, last year, we did export business to the tune of around, 1.3 lakh crore compared to 1.1 lakh crore, 2019-20 basically. So there is an increase of 30%. You see, the pandemic has given more opportunity for India to give, a reliable food and nutritional security to the entire, global countries, especially Africa, Middle East, Southeast Asian countries. So this pandemic is basically, may affect, little bit of supply chain and other things. But as far as value chain maintenance and as far as export is concerned, I don't foresee any problem.
Sir, you gave us time and you gave your valuable inputs to our listeners.
Thank you, Manas.
Traditional community fishing is an integral part of the Naga culture. Since time immemorial, community fishing has been practiced and kept alive among the Naga tribes even today. Community fishing is an endeavor to strengthen unity and bonds between different tribes. To learn more about this, we will go over to our Kohima correspondent, Asuno.
In an endeavor to strengthen unity and bonds between different tribes, Traditional Community Fishing Day in Nagaland are being organized once or twice in a year or depending on the tribes. On that day, young and old comes to the river with fishing nets and other traditional made catch equipments, and the people will see beating tree roots in the river energetically. According to the all-age practice, people collect roots of a particular tree found in the forest and beat them against fallen tree trunk or stones. It is believed that this helps in the release of poison from root which knocks out fishes, making it easy to catch them. This practice does not wipe out any single organism in the river. Recently, thousands of people from Lota and Sumik tribe of Nagaland gathered at Doyan River and celebrated the communal fishing event. These two tribes, Nrong Longindang village, Wokha district, and Old Srina village of Zinoboto district joined in traditional community fishing at River Doyan as a way to build and renew friendship and to strengthen their unity between Sumi and Lota tribes of Nagaland. Let's listen from Ms. Soreni Ism of Nrong Longindang village under Wokha district more.
Nrong Longindang village, Wokha district, and Old Srina village, Zinoboto district in Nagaland performed the traditional community fishing has been practicing from time immemorial to build and renew friendship and to strengthen their unity between Sumi and Lota tribes of Nagaland. The menfolk of these two tribes marched from the respective village with rhythm sound, yelling a war cry, performed rituals, offer prayer, and finally through the tree barks in the river Toyang and start beating the roots in rhythm to flush all waters, to catch fish, and finally prepares meal for fish. These all-age traditions among the Nagas still holds a strong bond between the communities of two different tribes of Nagaland, a bond of friendship and unity. With Tonglomo, this is Asunyo from AIR News Kohima for Northeast Diary.
With that, we have come to the end of this edition of Northeast Diary. Do join us next week to hear more stories from this enchanting part of India. Bye-bye.